Hi everyone, it's Holly here. I am a mom, I am an actress, a model, a business and mindset coach, an entrepreneur, just somebody who doesn't really want to work for anybody else. Um, this video is about self-sabotage. Are you somebody who, when they get really close to being awesome and just doing something amazing, secretly, without really meaning to, messes it all up? That's definitely me. I have done that throughout my life. I know that that's happened, and I've only really realised that in the last year or so there's been a pattern of that. And it's not saying that I haven't had major successes and things like that, but it's saying that there's something in me that self-sabotages, and I've had to recognise that. So I know for me it started when I started acting when I was a really young girl. I was 11 years old. I got into television. I'm from a really normal working class family, and suddenly I was making money. Suddenly I was pushed to the forefront of people's minds, and I was on television and people knew who I was, but I was still going to normal school. I was still around people who didn't have money, and it made me feel like I had to minimize and make myself feel, I had to like be smaller about it and not. I felt if I talked about it or I was proud of it, then maybe it made me look like I was bragging or I thought I was brilliant. And so I made everything small and I just dismissed it. And really, even if you'd spoken to me 10 years ago, I'd have completely minimized everything that I've done. In fact, I remember being in London once with my husband, and it was the first time he'd sort of seen people recognize me. And I was getting recognised for a TV show that I did called Waterloo Road. I did the second series of Waterloo Road, a BBC drama here in the UK, but I think it goes out to America and other places too. And when I did that, it was such a popular show, and so I went down to London, and there were some young girls on the tube, and they were getting dead excited, and like, oh my god, that you played Leanne on Waterloo Road, and I was like, yeah, hi, and I get a little bit weirded about it, and I think it's often because if I'm not on a television show at that moment, then I feel perhaps it's unwarranted, which now I know is crazy. Um, and my husband said to me at the time, why don't you just go and speak to them? Like, be like cool about it. And I was like, I don't know. But I'd spent so many years pretending that it was nothing that I'd forgotten how to be like, just cool about it. And like, yeah, that's a really good thing to have done. And yeah, thanks for enjoying the show. And I've got better at that. So thank those of you who've been fans of mine and followed me across that time. Thanks for sticking around, and thanks for like appreciating my development in that. But I think that era of me starting out in acting and being very young, it made me learn. My behaviour became about not celebrating my successes and making everything small, and thinking that you had to do that. Same with money. I wanted to not talk about it. I was a bit awkward about it, and it became a pattern of self-sabotage that every time I knew I was on the cusp of something big, I'd pull it back down. There's a saying, and I can't remember it, and I wish I'd thought about this beforehand, but I know there's a saying about that we're not actually scared of failing, we're actually scared of how great we can really be. And I think there's an element of truth within me, and I think many of us do that. I think many of us are also scared, just as scared of being absolutely brilliant, because when you do that, you put yourself right up there. You put yourself up there to be pulled back down, and it's a very vulnerable position to be in. You might notice that you do this, and you might not have thought about it until now, but it's a really big thing. There's a great book by, I've forgotten the name, Gay Hendrick, I want to say. It's The Big Leap, and it was recommended to me by two people, one ages ago and I didn't read it, and one recently and I did. And it's really useful. It's all about having an upper limit. Really good book, and saying that you have an upper limit, you have a sort of preset limit that you want to allow yourself to get past, and it's about working on that. And so self-sabotage is massive for many entrepreneurs, many creative types. We feel that if we allow ourselves to go to that next level, that we'll be judged, or that we won't be good enough for that, or we don't deserve that. Now, right as we speak, I've worked on myself a lot, that I feel confident enough to look back at the things I've succeeded in and go, pat on the back, you did good. You did really good, and I've really worked on in the last year celebrating my successes. And if you're part of either of my Facebook groups, the Ambitious Mums Club, if you're a mum, jump on in. I'll put a link below. Or the Action Takers group, which is for everybody. Don't be in both. You won't need to be, because there's some crossover in the groups and content. But in those groups we have Wednesday wins. So we celebrate our wins. And I mean everything from, I've been able to do the washing this week. I did the school run with some makeup on. Hooray! Or the big stuff. I got a promotion. I got a new client. I got a new team member in my network marketing business. I sold some products. My business is whatever. You know, it can be big or small. So we celebrate those, and I think it's massively important to do that, and it stops you doing that self-sabotage thing, because you just recognize and you get used to being comfortable with your own greatness. Because I'm telling you now, all of you that are watching this have a zone of genius. You have an area where you're brilliant, and even if you're not sure what that is yet, you do. So learn now where your sticking points are and stop yourself from self-sabotaging, because it's such a nasty, insidious little thing that really pulls you down. And I know that I've allowed it to seep in, and I have to watch myself. Even now I have to keep an eye on when I get an opportunity, that I won't just dismiss it. Or it's terrible, isn't it? It's so crazy, because I know that some of you will be watching this and be going, but you've done really good stuff, and I'd love to have done the stuff you do. I know that, I recognise that. But then when you've got that little self-sabotager in there, you've got to keep it in check and go, oh, you, stop trying to pull me down, because I'm about to get awesome. I just looked at my nails there, they're pretty horrendous. Oh, you can't really see on the camera. Sorry, slightly just zoning off there, as with all videos. So yeah, so it's just a thing I want to talk to you about. Stop doing it. You're awesome. Allow yourself to be awesome, and don't feel that you can't, that by talking about your awesomeness that it's bragging. There's a way of doing it that's cool. You know, just if you've done something good, tell me. Post it in below here. In fact, let's do a Wednesday win on here, but it can be any day, whatever day it is. It's Thursday today. I'll post it now. Tell me what wins you've had, big or small. Just post them below and say, do you know what, I did this and I'm fully winning in my life with this. And then we can just, yeah, we can all develop and stop stopping ourselves. That thing. This video started like I was going to really talk about something great, and then I've kind of just talking shit now, aren't I? Just stop self-sabotaging and be awesome. You're brilliant. And jump in my Facebook groups, because I do free coaching in there and lots of support, and some awesome people in there as well that you can network with. And if you want to work with me personally, there might have a little bit of space coming up, so holler at me. And yeah, subscribe to this. You really should, because on my other videos I'm like give a lot of good content and stuff. On this one I'm talking a lot of rubbish, I think. But you should. And also subscribe to my email list, because I do give extra bits to people on my list. And before my daughter comes in with a pile of dolls about this size, which is what she's been carrying about all morning, I'm going to go. You're all brilliant. Be amazing, and allow yourself to just be like the best you can be. And peace. Speak to you all soon.